Greetings, friend. I will give you the secret to solving Sudoku puzzles without using any pencil marks. Not only that, stay tuned to the end and I'll give you some key insights about our featured setter this month, Riffclown. Click below if you want to give it a go, and with that, it's solving time. Okay, you're looking at this puzzle. First thing you want to notice is you want to do some cross-hatching if you think you can solve without pencil marks. So let's look at the 8s first, okay? Key things about the 8s. I got an 8 here in columns 5 and 4, and I got an 8 coming across row 8, which means this is the only place left for an 8 here in block 8. And we want to keep following that along. You'll notice that you have an 8 here in column 7 and 9, and an 8 cutting across row 2, so that means only one place left for an 8 right here in block 3. This is called cross-hatching. So you look across the rows and you see, where can an 8 be up here like in block 1? And you see how this cuts up and these cut across. They cross hatch. There's only one place left. You can solve that for an 8, which then you follow it down to like the next block. Now I'll notice there's 8s in columns 1 and 3, so I can solve that for an 8. So that's cross-hatching. What you're doing is you're finding hidden singles. So each of those was a hidden single, which means that it could have been a multiple candidates, but we were able to eliminate and go, okay, there's only one place for that 8, so it has to be in that spot in that particular block. All right, that's the first strategy I'm showing you. So stay tuned because the other ones I show you are going to be even more important. All right, after we do the 8s, let's look a little bit now at the 1s. See how a 1 cuts up column 5 and a 1 cuts across row 1? Well, that means that the 1s are limited to these 2 cells right here. And I'm not marking pencil marks, but I'm just going to give you this color to give you an idea what this is for visually. So when you have 2 candidates like this in a particular cell, and they're limited to those 2 spots, that is called a pointing pair. And what that means is a 1 has to be in one of these 2 green spots here in block 2. So a 1 cannot be anywhere else along row 2 because it has to be in block 2 somewhere, and it has to be in one of those cells. So that means we can eliminate in a 1 from either of these cells over here in block 3. And so with knowing that there's a 1 cutting across row 1, a 1 has to be one of these 2 spots here. There's only one place left for a 1 in block 3, and it has to be right there. So this is your other secret, pointing pairs, and you're going to see a lot of these. It's going to be quite exciting, and you're going to love to see how much mileage you can get off these pointing pairs. You'll be surprised when you're starting to solve Sudoku puzzles how often this will pop up. And so let's go back to our cross-hatching. We got 1s in rows 8 and 9. You got a 1 coming down column 2. So there's only one place left for a 1 here in block 7. So we can mark that one. And now we've kind of dried up on the 1s where we can't do any more solving of the 1s just yet. So then we're going to actually, we can do one more solving the 1. This is kind of another secret I'm going to show you here. Look across row 4. Where can a 1 be in row 4? And what I noticed is what's called a claiming pair. So this is another type of secret you want to do. And the claiming pair is like this. Okay, 1s are limited to rows 5 and 6 here in block 6. And then you see this 1 cutting up. It means 1s are limited also to rows 5 and 6 here in block 5. And so since they're limited there to rows 5 and 6 in these 2 blocks, what it means is then a 1 has to be up here in row 4. It has to be in row 4 in block 4. And so it would be a claiming pair if this wasn't a 1. But since that's a 1's already cutting up column 1, we know we have to solve this for a 1 because it's the only place in row 4 where a 1 can fit. If you start seeing those types of patterns, you're going to get a lot faster and accurate at your Sudoku solving. And like I said, stay tuned because I got some cool insights about Riffclown I want to share with you. I'll do that in just a minute here. But keep on following me as we kind of push through this puzzle. We can't solve any more of the 1s right now, but let's move on to the 2s because we have quite a bit of 2s in this puzzle. And so what I'm seeing is there's a 2 coming down column 3, a 2 cutting across row 4. It means only one place left for a 2 in block 4. And now I'm going to see a 2 in row 6, row 4, and then in column 7 means only one place left for 2 over here in block 6. So we got block 4, we got block 6. And what I'd encourage you to do is you want to look, for the candidates. You see a lot of candidates. It's kind of work with those first. You don't necessarily need to go sequential 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but you want to look, hey, what do I have a lot of? And let's go there. That's why I started with the 8s initially. Okay, other things we see, now that we filled in this 2, we can go back to solving those 1s because we have a 1 in column 7 and 9. There's only one place now left for a 1 here in block 6, which helps us out tremendously. Okay, we still can't finish the other ones because there's going to be one of these 2 spots in both blocks 2 and 5. But I'm going to keep that in my working memory. That's my next secret I want to share with you. You have what's called a working memory. You can remember stuff for about 10-15 minutes, enough to solve a puzzle like this. So you want to do is kind of remember, hey, what candidates are limited to certain cells? So if I can solve one of the cells, I can go back to that other one and solve right away. And so we're going to use our working memory to kind of get through the solve even quicker. And it comes in handy so much. You're going to see as I point this out to you. All right, what's the next candidate that we can kind of work on here? And, I'm kind of looking and go, okay, what do I see? I see a 4 coming down. There's not a lot of 4s, but since the 4s are covering these 2 spots here, I know this cell has to be a 4. And now when I see that, I see that I create some restrictions. And so I'm going to look at the place where I have restrictions, where there's only 2 candidates, 3 candidates. If there's 1 candidate, I can definitely solve that. So we're going to look right here and go, okay, that has to be a 5 or a 9. Well, I don't have a 5 or 9 over here to crosshatch with, so I'm going to keep that in my working memory. However, since I know this has to be a 5 or 9, 5 or 9 can't be anywhere else along column 3. And so that what it tells me is we're missing still a 3 and a 7. I can actually solve this cell right here and this cell right here because of this 7 right there. This is a really cool trick that you got to find too, is remember what's in this block and then go what's left, a 3 and a 7. Oh, I have a 7. I have one of those in a corresponding row. So I know I can solve this for a 3 and I can solve this for a 7. And now I want to share with you a cool little insight about Riffclown. He gets his help with testing and ideas from the Sudoku Skunk Works team. So this is a group of setters. They do classics, they do variants, they've done puzzle packs. I'm looking to get them to start doing puzzle packs on my membership page and buy me a coffee. Real excited about that. And it's kind of like an iron sharpening iron thing. They work on each other, they come up with even better ideas and better puzzles. Okay, let's get back to the main solve. Now that we've solved the 7, I want to go back to crosshatching. The 7 to 7 with this 7 means the only place left for 7 block 9. So we can solve that 7 right there. And then we're going to look across and go, okay, what other candidate did I solve? I solved for a 3, right? And so this is kind of another cool trick. And what you'll see, this is going to be another pointing pair. We don't have to do any marks. So see how the 3 cuts across row 1? It means that 3 is limited to these 2 spots here in block 3. So now we can actually take that fact and cut right back across row 2 and go, okay, well now there's only one place left for a 3 here in block 2. The 3 has to be there. So you see this, and now you can make a solve right there. That is so cool. You're going to see this pop up all the time. In fact, we're going to use another variation of that to solve a 3 in another block. See how the 3 cuts down column 5, and then this 3 cuts across row 5. It means the 3 is in one of these 2 spots here. And I'll color it just to kind of let you show. Okay, so 3 has to be one of those spots. So now a 3 can't be here or here. And with this 3, a 3 can't be there. We can solve that cell for a 3. And then we're going to be able to finish out this row with a 7. And now with this 7 and this 7, we can solve for a 7 right here. With this 7 in column 1, we can solve for a 7 there. Another full house that we can solve for a 9. Let me get rid of this colors before I get too ahead of myself there. All right. How cool was that? And so if you start pointing these things out, you're going to make a lot quicker solves, and it's going to be a lot more fun in how you do this. Okay, I see right here what I need is a 5 and a 6. Oh, I have a 6. So there's going to be my 6, and there's going to be my 5. And now 5 and a 5 with this 5. There's only one place left for a 5 in block 3. We got that. And so we're always looking and making restrictions. We're always go, okay, now that I've solved that, where do I need to look next? And so we did the 5. I looked at this 5. I look down here and go, okay, I can't solve those 5s yet. But I made some more restrictions across the top here. We're still looking for looks like a 4 and a 6. Can I solve that? No, but I can remember that we need a 4 and a 6 there. But then actually, now I take one step further, I can solve those cells. And with these 6s right here, it means their 6 is limited right there, which is going to put a 4 here. And now we can solve this cell for our 1. And remember that we only had 2 1s left to fill in. Well, now I solved this one. using my working memory, I know that's the last place for a 1. We can solve that right away and you can move on with, again, that solving. Okay, and so I'm going to look now for areas of greatest restriction. I can't solve these 2 cells yet because I need a 3 and a 4. I don't see any down here. What do I need right here? It looks like I need a 4, a 6, or a 7, and I'm going to be able to solve because we have a 7, 7, and this 7 means this has to be a 7, and because of this 6, we can solve for 6 right there, and this is going to be your 4. And now for this 4, we can solve for the 4 right here, and we're going to just keep on making our solves. We're looking for a 5 and a 9. Still can't do the 5 and the 9 just yet. You know, we're getting close, but we're not quite there, and that's okay because then I'll shift my gaze over here and looking for, well, we got a 3 or a 6. Can't solve that just yet. So I'm going to keep those things in my working memory. Instead, I'll come over here and see I got a full house, right? And in case you're not familiar with these terms like full house, I recommend you check out my single cell solving method tutorial, and I'll put a link to it right here. The whole reason for me to put there is you can go look at the different variations of a row, column, or a block. So any kind of house, whether it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cells missing, and you can see how you can solve those. It's very helpful, and it's going to help you solve faster and quicker. And while you're at it, subscribe to Smart Hobbies. If you want to solve puzzles without marks, even better. All right, so we got these 4s in here, and so now with this 4 and these 4s, the only place left for 4 in block 8, and then I can solve for that 4 right there. All right, I'm going to look across here and go, okay, there's only 2 cells missing. I miss a 3 and I'm missing a 9. I got my 9, so this is going to be your 9, and that has to be your 3. And then I remember there's a 3 and 4 missing up here, so there's my 3, there's my 4. All right, I see another full house, so I know I can immediately solve for this 2, and then I'm going to crosshatch the 2 first, because that's always going to be usually the quickest way to get the next cell solved. Then I see another full house, meaning I'm missing a 9. Okay, and then 9, 9 with this 9 means this has to be a 9. Because now, you know, when I see this 9, I'm just going to focus on these 2 cells because I see the 9 right there. And then all I have to do is look up and look for a 9. Boom, there's my 9. I'm good to go. And then what else are we missing down here? It looks like a 3 and a 6. I see my 6 in column 4. So that has to be your 6. That has to be your 3. I look immediately in this block, there's no 3. So I know I can solve for that 3 right there and then this 5. And then I'm looking over here, no 5. I can solve that right away. You see how that works? See how we're just cross-hatching and moving our way through the puzzle? Cross-hatching the work, we'll look for those pointing pairs. We'll look for those claiming pairs. And if it gets to it, we may need to use a naked single where you're just trying to figure out what's the last remaining possibility for that cell. We didn't need any naked singles in this puzzle yet. But this does remind me of another solve. Stay tuned to the end. I'll give you a link to that. You will want to check it out. It's going to be a little trickier than this puzzle, but you can still do it without marks. Okay, I see another full house in column 4, which means we're missing just a 9. Now I can solve that 9 and 5 that I had that working memory. I've been waiting to solve that. There we go. Put the 5 right here because there wasn't a 5 in block 5. And it gives us 2 possibilities left. We're looking for a 3 and we're looking for a 6. I see the 3 first, so I'll mark the 3 in column 6. And then here's our 6. You will need to check out this other puzzle if you want to get better at solving Sudoku without pencil marks. Thank you so much, Riffclown, for letting me feature your puzzles on this channel. It's been a joy. Don't forget, I got a Buy Me a Coffee link, and I'm just starting up memberships. Join now to get exclusive content, puzzle packs. You will love it. Check it out. Thank you so much for watching.